laudatory. It's very hard to comparison. Whoever does it. So I was happy to find this poster on one of the doors that reorganizes this event. This is a lost night in phenomenon with Urbanisms. So it's going to be a hard one, but I'm going to try it. And it's Friday at 7 a.m. So Gertrude lives somewhere in your faculty, and this was, when I saw this, I thought, that's the spirit. And actually, this slide on the screen is from 1974, and this building means a lot to me, by the way, because in 1974 I did my architecture exams in Wurster, Holl. So every time I'm walking up and see this building, I think of nervousness. In those days, it was 4 days of exams. You had to be here at 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh, that's another story. But here's, I'm on the left. I had a beard in those days. You know, it was still, you had to wear a beard. And Bill Stout and Bill Zimmerman, and this was I was the first employee of William Stout Architecture Books. It was only open on Saturday. And then sometimes on Saturday night we would have these meetings, little manifesto meetings. And I think we call ourselves Opus Group. And this is the second meeting. You can see there's a little chocolate. You'll have to go to Bill Stout's bookstore to find out what we were doing. I think he has some back archives. So how do I get this to work? So the talk tonight is really about a book. I apologize that it's a little academic. I did a book on my houses, which is available at Bill Stout's bookstore. It's called Black Swan Theory, where I make an argument for modern architecture, but not. It follows on the idea of the individual character of the site, the circumstance, and the potential of each project to be its own soulful thing. So my passion is in detail, etc. Now, the macro scale, much more difficult. And that's what we're working with tonight, the macro scale. And so I titled it Working with Doubt, and that's the working title for the book. Urbanisms, Working with Doubt. And working at a scale where you're really not sure what can happen to you, what can happen to your project. So I'm going to read a few paragraphs in front of each of these. There's 11 sections. Today, working with doubt is unavoidable. Today, the absolute is displaced by the relative and the interactive. Instead of stable systems, we must work with dynamic systems. Instead of simple and clear programs, we engage in contingent and diverse programs. Instead of precise and perfection, we work with intermittent, cross-bred schema and combined methods. Suspending disbelief and adopting a global understanding is today an a priori condition, a new fundamental for creative work in science, urbanism, and architecture. And I made a chart a few years ago, which I published before, but basically I took Colin Rowe's famous, and he was a great teacher, Colin Rowe, his famous comparison of the classical and the modern, where the classical is absolute, modern is relative, and I say we have another word we have to put here, interactive. So you can see, and this will be in the book, you can see these are the sort of contingent, this tactical, intermittent, differential, topological. These are the conditions that we make urban architecture at a larger scale. I'm trying to find ways to speak about it. And